One. Hey T, what's up, man?
What's going on, D?
Hey, nothing much, man. Hey, let's talk about some movies right now, and some other things, streaming, stuff that's coming up and anticipated in a very large way. I don't know what it is with these headsets, but I can't do this because I hear feedback, so I'm just gonna take them off and keep going. All right, we decided to get together and just have a discussion about what's coming up in the next few weeks. And also for 2022, we got some topics on here that we're going to discuss. The first topic that we're going to talk about is the top 10 most anticipated movies. Fandango just recently came out with an article where they were discussing that. And as you can see, these are their top 10 anticipated movies of 2022. Now, I know you and I often have disagreements on what's a top movie, what's kind of going to be the hot thing for the year. So let me know what you think
Sure.
about these particular 10 movies, just at first glance. What are you thinking?
You know what? I'm not really seeing anything that's jumping out. Maybe Aquaman. I want to have love for Wakanda forever, but I'm really. I tell you what, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen here uh, with number six.
Doctor Strange. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So
Doctor.
you see big things for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, with Doctor Strange. I definitely do see that. Doctor Strange, I feel like it's going to be really really cool, man. I am looking forward to that. Only because after just seeing Spider Man, I want to see what's going to happen next. I mean, is it going to be tame? Probably, yeah, but it's probably going to be the number one movie of the year until Avatar 2 comes out. Definitely think that Avatar 2 is going to make some serious headway.
Hold on now. I think there's going to be one movie that's actually going to, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, but there's, I think, one movie that's going to be a lot bigger in terms of its appeal, in my opinion, and that's we're talking about the Batman. I think that's like the clear cut number one movie um, that we're going to be looking at this year, and also it's number one on my list in terms of top anticipated films because let's be honest, man, Batman's the number one hero in in the world. Maybe not number one in our hearts. But to everybody else, the Batman is the superhero of all superheroes. The most, probably the best animated show. I even agree with that. The Batman, the animated series. And then when the mid 2000s hit, the superhero comic book movie genre was revitalized with Chris Nolan's trilogy. So I think
Do you
people
see
want to
this
see a
guy behind me?
different version.
Do you
Wait,
see
what?
this guy?
What's that?
Do you see who's behind me?
Hey, look, man, we and you agree on who
Listen,
is the best
and I got
superhero.
next to him. I got next to him. That's Batman next to him, right? But
I'm not
Superman.
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm talking about the general public, T. Right?
I understand about the look, man. I am all Batmaned out, dude. We know he's great. He's been great since '89, dude. No matter what they put out, it's gonna be good. As long as you don't have that Joel Schumacher stuff,
Oh
you're
yeah,
cool.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You're
yeah. Nah, I
cool.
think they've
You're
gotten
cool.
beyond that. The crazy thing is, I think they're going darker. Like they're trying to make this thing the most darkest movie, at least from a superhero standpoint, that I've ever seen. All the trailers have been like super dark, like far darker than anything that Chris Nolan did. And Matt Reeves has already come out and said on record that he wants to outdo Chris Nolan. So I think this movie right here is going to be probably um, a benchmark for what I feel is going to be a banner year for DC. I think DC's got it this year, T. I think they got it this year. I think this is the year Marvel is going to take a back seat to DC, okay? And I know they don't have that many DC films up here in comparison to the Marvels. I think what we got one, two, three, four, if you count Spider Man across the Spider Verse in terms of Marvel. But I think Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom is going to be just as big, if not bigger, than any Marvel movie out there. And then, of course, You got the Flash, and you got Black Adam, and those four movies, Batman, the Flash, Black Adam, and Aquaman. Those are all in my personal top 10. I don't know about that. I don't know about you. What do you think?
So what I think really here is it's not a matter of if DC can put up. All
Mm-hmm.
right, it's a matter of consistency with them. Aquaman 2000 what 18,
Right.
that was a great movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Great movie, awesome movie, right?
Loved it.
Unexpected surprise. Then it was followed up with what? You had the Joker in 2019, and then 2020 you had what?
What was
What?
2020? Oh,
2020 you had Birds
well,
of
we had
Prey.
well, I mean, at the beginning of the year, yeah, we had Birds of
You
Prey. That
see,
was,
they move too slow, and this is my deal with Warner Brothers. You're gonna put together something, but I don't want to have to appreciate it years later.
yeah,
I want to make because it's hard not to compare Marvel, who is doing stuff a very neutered version of superheroes, whereas DC, they got no holds bar. You got all your characters. You don't have to go buy back anything. Why aren't you going all in? You have other characters besides Batman. You have other characters, right? I mean, if you went all in on Superman like you should, the granddaddy of them all, you'd be in a better position. I have no doubt that DC's going to perform, but a piece of me feels like they're going to underperform. You like Shazam. I didn't like Shazam.
I think Shazam is a great movie. I don't know why you hate it.
I don't think Shazam was a great movie. I think you wasted Mark Strong, who is obviously a better fit at Lex Luthor, but you had him play a character like nobody even who knows that character. He was menacing. That movie had its menacing moments, but I wish they would have let the director just rip loose. That should have been a horror movie. That should have been a
It had its horror
horrifying.
elements. It had a lot of horror elements, as a matter of fact.
Monsters were scary. Those monsters were scary, but they were tame when it
But you
came
got to
down
think
to.
about it, T. Like Shazam is really like a kind of a little kid in a big man's body. So they're gonna try to attract the young kids. They're not trying to scare them. You know, it's like, okay, we're gonna bring and introduce a bunch of little like 8, 9, and 10-year olds to horror this early. Like I would do that with my kids, but maybe
That movie
some other
wasn't
people would feel
necessary.
differently about
That
that.
movie was not necessary. That movie was not necessary at all,
I
D.
mean, is any
And you're
movie
gonna say
necessary
that.
for that point? I mean, you could say no movie is necessary if you want to be. I mean, we just saw The Matrix, and
If
you
you
talking
are
about an
in a
unnecessary
fight,
movie.
you know what? You know what? You know what? Can I take these off?
Yeah,
Can I take
take
these
them
off?
off. Take them off.
They're just not. They're no competition. They do not want to compete at all, D. So I don't think that it's fair for me and you to get all pumped up, get my hopes all up over a movie. Batman's going to deliver. He always delivers. People just they're entrenched with him. But you got to move on behind. You have so many other characters that you got, dude. You should go all in.
You won't
But
hear
for
me
some
argue that. But right now, we're talking about the top 10 most
I
anticipated
know,
movies
but
for
the
this
top
year,
10
and I
anticipated
think
movies, that's not my top 10 anticipated movie at all. I would not put Batman in it at all. I don't want to see that love story
oh
with
my
that
god,
crap with him and Selena Kyle. I've already seen that. What are you giving me new? Nothing. You know what that is? That's seven bubble wrapped in Batman.
you know what? We haven't seen Seven bubble wrapped in Batman, right? I mean,
We
they're
have
doing something. They're not doing anything different. I think that they're giving us something that fans have wanted to see for a long time, which is an ultra dark Batman movie. I
see
think
that.
Pattinson looks the part. From everything we've seen in the trailer so far, he looks the part of a young Bruce Wayne, traumatized. This thing looks very like kind of depressing, like the
No,
environment
I'm
and
going to tell
everything.
you what it's going to be. I'm going to tell you what this, and you mark my
Okay,
words.
okay.
That Batman movie is going to be, it's going to be 75% action to cover up the fact that nobody wants Twilight Boy to be Batman. So he's going to toughize, and I just made up a word, he's going to toughenize. He's going to toughenize the role of himself to be Batman and say, okay, that's believable.
All right, all right. All right, well, let's move on from this particular topic and go into a topic that you wanted to discuss.
Yeah.
Um, and this is, let me get this up. Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett. So we're right now dealing with season two, or excuse me, episode two of this first season of Book
Boba
of
Fett.
Boba Fett. What are your opinions of the show so far? And I'll throw in
Well,
mine.
the show overall, I'm not overly excited about, but I am pleased with this last episode.
Okay.
Um, I can appreciate what they're trying to do as far as story. It's got me intrigued. I didn't want to change the channel. And that's good because I don't really know much about Boba Fett. He never was a character that I was like, oh my God, I gotta have him. I know I'm speaking Star Wars curse words here, but I think that this really reminds me of this is Disney's updated version of stories how they used to tell about the Ewoks and all that kind of stuff. I like it. It's mystery. It's adventure. I think them going back, like we discussed earlier, them going back in time and trying to retell things. Um, it's good, but it's got to have a better twist to it than what it does now. I think that they're shooting during the daytime, so you get to see a lot of things at daytime, and they don't want to really shoot at night because it's a lot harder, but harder on the eyes and for you to focus on. But I'm okay with this season. I'm okay. I know that there'll be another season coming on. There has to be, but I'm okay. It's an okay story. You know,
Okay.
what did you call it earlier though, D? What did you refer to
Well,
this
well, let
as
me
earlier?
get into this. Let me read a little bit from this article because I just want to kind of talk about what other people are looking at. So it says, "Who is Boba Fett?" There is an easy answer to that question, and for that, look no further than Under the Helmet, a neat little history of the character's origins, introducing rare footage of his first appearance, marching alongside Darth Vader at a sparsely attended parade in San Anselmo in the summer of '88. The short answer, at least until fairly recently, is that he's a skilled and pitiless bounty hunter who works for whoever pay him, be they Hut gangsters or intergalactic fascists. So I'm gonna stop right there because that's what we knew Boba Fett to be: pitiless bounty hunter who works for whoever pays him. And then we said, okay, now this guy is stepping in to try to take over like a crime syndicate. So I was interested in that. Like, that's the story I want to watch. When they said Book of Boba Fett, if you remember that little short ending at the post credit scene at the end of the Mandalorian season two. All right, Boba Fett walks in, shoots Bib Fortuna dead, takes the throne. I'm like, okay, this guy is, back to the badass Boba Fett that we all know and love. And then what have we gotten so far? We've gotten like a child almost, like in that terms. Like this guy is not the Boba Fett that we expected. Number one, the you know escape from the Sarlacc pit. I thought that was fine. Okay, and then I thought, hey, showing this guy where he ended up, had to hang out with the Tusken Raiders for a little bit. That was fine. Okay, that's all in episode one. But it needed to be a lot shorter. I don't need half of the episode to be a flashbacks to what he did before. I'm looking for this guy to start. Hey, how is he going to start taking over Jabba's entire uh, empire? That's what I want to see. To me, that's the interesting thing right now. Let's move forward. Okay. Understand, yeah, he got out of the Sarlacc pit. We saw him in the episode in Mandalorian season two, and we saw how he was still badass Boba Fett. Nothing changed. Okay, so what are we doing here? Why are we going back and telling this dances? Because yeah, you said, what did I call it? I called it dances with wolves because that's what this whole this is dancing with wolves. T. That's what this is. Am I lying? His backstory is I need to hang out with these local natives. I need to chill with them. I'm going to become part of them. And it's this feel good story. And look, Boba Fett's a notorious, ruthless criminal. Okay? Bounty hunter, mercenary, will kill you as just as easy as he'll smile at you. But did you see the little scene when he's sitting on the little speeder bike? Oh, we're gonna ride it just like the just like the Banthas. I was like, what the hell is this? This isn't Boba Fett. So yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not happy with this direction that they've taken them so far. Now I know a lot of people are still saying, well, this is still kind of a fun, look at this particular character. Let's see where it goes. No, I'm slowly tuning out. I'm slowly tuning out.
I think you need to be more patient with what's going on with this thing.
Mm.
Um, uh, it's not going to be a quick story. Star Wars, their whole thing, it's not a quick story. They do, if you notice what they do a lot of what? Recycling of the story, recycling, because they're not trying to expand on the universe, right? You have to be careful of sci-fi because sci-fi doesn't have the writers it used to do. They don't have the free will because of the political nuances that are trapping these things. They don't want to tell too much, right? It has to be neutered. They don't want people to expand. They don't want the average viewer, reader, and novice to expand the story and go beyond what they have. So they have to keep it neutered, right? Where they're retelling stuff that doesn't really seem like it does. I talked earlier about, hey, Batman is what? Bubble wrapped. It's this new Batman movie is going to be 7 bubble wrapped in Batman. This story is what? This is Dancing with Wolves. You know what I'm saying? This is Boba
Well, the
Fett.
flashbacks are so far. It's Dancing with Wolves. It's introducing him to the local people. It's that sort of stuff.
But you're going to have that. You're going to have that more and more. So because the writing needs to be, is this format something that I want accessible? It's on Disney Plus. We get it. Disney Plus, I have access to kids' movies too. Kids have access to this. I can't make it rough and gritty. I can't sell that character.
Rough and gritty. Rough and gritty is not ultimate. It doesn't have to be rated R. I mean, you could have a rough and gritty. Like they got all the PG-13 stuff that they got out there. That's not. This is almost G rated. Like at this point, I want to see. Here's what I want to see. At this point, Boba Fett to me needs to kind of get an edge to him. Okay, has he killed anybody in this show yet? I don't think he's killed anybody. All right, he killed like a bunch of stormtroopers. Did he kill
those dudes up in the
on the train?
Okay,
remember maybe that. Okay, but it doesn't.
He blew up the guy going up the thing. This actor is old. He's old.
I get that, but he was just in the Mandalorian. Hey, look, put the helmet back on him and let him do some fighting, okay?
You need a double. You need a double for him. He's old. He's old. His body, it doesn't make sense. I would not have told this as a backstory. I would have completely have had his son who played his in the prequels. I would have had his son play that role. That would have been a better fit than this. His son,
he's an older guy, but it's really not the problem. I don't think Boba Fett is ruined because the older actor is playing him. I think the actor's fine. What I have a problem with is the story they're telling. The story they're telling is so far like, okay, the Boba Fett trying to take over the syndicates is an interesting story. I like it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I agree.
And you can go through and see what is his process in trying to do that. Okay, he's got to get the mayor to pledge some sort of fealty. Hey, I need you to bend the knee, mayor. You ain't bent the knee yet. Okay, we're gonna have problems. I need to see stuff like that. I don't need to see Boba Fett and his dances with wolves learning how to do because you listen, let me say this. You already can see where this thing is going, okay? And that's what I don't like about this is the predictability because you already.
You're right. Now, D, you are always spot on when it comes to that predictability. What I feel like in this though is this is about the kids, man. This is about kids and toys. Now, I don't see any Boba Fett toys or Mandalorian toys or any of that stuff to sell with this. But this is strictly about toys. This is about, can I sell Jabba the Hutt toys with this? Can I have toys with characters that look different? That, hey, their bodies aren't perfect. They have an issue. Huh?
Nobody's buying toys.
Right. Nobody's buying, because toys, what? What is the benefit of a toy? There's no benefit.
If anything,
right? There's a benefit to an iPhone. There's a benefit to a video game. Yeah. There's gratification right there. Right. A toy does not give me gratification. But if I build up and I make this thing a collectible everybody's gonna say, well, you know what you do it like? You do it like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. You do it like that. You say, man, how can I have this where this is a rare thing where all these kids are going after this thing and it is rare. Oh man, you got the gold piece to this, you got that to that. The authenticity. You need that. This story, I know you're basically saying it feels like it's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary
Well,
telling.
the half of the story is unnecessary. Half of this story so far has been about what happened to him immediately after he got out of the Sarlacc pit. The Sand people picked him up. They put him in their camp. He went through some trials and tribulations, and now he's becoming a part of them. Dances with wolves. Okay, that's what the half of this story is. The other half is him, Finnick. He's got the two little Grimorian guards in there, starting to put together a little bit of a empire. And like I said, you already know this is going to end somehow with the Sand people that he's befriended at the beginning of this episodes, and he's going through all of these memories with those Sand people are going to somehow have to rescue him, save him. They're going to become some sort of an ending army that he has to, bring out of mothballs or whatever to take down Jabba or the new Huts, the twins. They showed those two during the episodes. He's going to have to take them down. That's where this thing is going, or they're going to have to, combine forces with other. It's very predictable. And that's the last thing that Star Wars needs to be right now. Because Star Wars is dangerously close to losing pretty much the stuff that they have coming up with Obi-Wan is interesting. The stuff that they have coming up with Ahsoka, that's interesting. Everything else is on shaky ground. Mandalorian season 3, that's going to come up, I think, this year.
This is going to be a good product. Do you know what these because Disney is compacting them and they're doing only like 6 episodes, what they're missing is that secret decoder ring, right? Which you already have with a phone. You need to have some kind of thing where I say, hey, I scan a code right quick. Hey, can you figure out these clues? Make me be involved in this. Make me say, God, man, oh man, what's happening with this, man? Let me check it out. They need to have some kind of secret decoding. That way, every episode.
That's gimmicks.
What?
You giving them that's gimmicks. We talking about you need a good show.
In this. You need gimmicks in this. You need it, D. I'm in sales. I'm telling you. Gimmicks, sell, dude.
All right,
what's the next topic, man? What do you got next topic, man?
All right, so the next topic, we're going to talk about another streaming show that's about to come up. You know it as the Peacemaker. The Peacemaker is very interesting. Like I can say I'm a little excited about this episode. Let's read about it a little bit. So it's already gotten some reviews. The early reviews are out. Okay, so just kind of going through this. It says, "Eat peace, motherfuckers." That's the comically hypocritical battle cry of the Peacemaker, who Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn describes as a superhero supervillain and the world's biggest douchebag. So I love the first trailer that I saw from this. I thought that struck the right kind of tone. Okay, it reminded me of the Suicide Squad so much. This is going to be raunchy. This is going to be in your face. This is going to be R-rated. This is perfect. This is exactly the kind of superhero material that you want to see right now. I'm so glad that James Gunn is getting the opportunity to flex his muscles in the DC universe, because hey, he did his thing in Guardians of the Galaxy, but Marvel is going to be what? Oh, we got to keep it PG-13, James. We can't be going crazy. But this is delicious, man. I am excited about this. Peacemaker, the second trailer was even better than the first.
Agreed.
This is definitely in my wheelhouse. I know that you had your reservations about the Suicide Squad. I know you liked it, but you had your reservations about this particular show. What do you think?
No, I'm on board. I'm on board, D. Because I think it's zany. Now, do I like, for those of you who haven't seen the movie, I want to know how you're going to explain your way out of what happened. They're going to have to retcon it, but whatever.
I mean, nobody in superhero movies is ever dead.
Yeah, but I'm very excited, man. It's very intriguing, especially because it's on HBO, right? I don't know if you're familiar, most of you watching this, if you ever watched Spawn, right? I watched Spawn when it was on HBO in 1997 to 19.
Oh yeah.
It was super gritty and like off the wall animation that you're probably never gonna get again. It was awesome, right? And to see this kind of stuff back on HBO, the same HBO that used to have Tales from the Crypt, you need those kind of stories that are intriguing. And I feel like they're trying to get back to it. You need those writers. Writing is so important because I need to know why I care about this. I need to know. And it's
Okay.
okay to listen to the fan. The fan knows what he wants, right?
Yep.
You just Derek and I are familiar with just give them the pickle. Just give them the pickle.
Give him the
They
pickle.
want the
Yeah.
pickle, give them the pickle. Don't charge extra for the pickles on my burger. Just give them the damn pickle. And I feel like we've been cheated more so than ever with that. That first started happening, Derek. I don't know if you remember when they did the remake make of or prequel of The Thing. That was very disappointing. And I feel like
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either. I thought that was a
right.
but I see your point. Like these kind of movies or these kind of shows, they've been missing from just hey man, we letting loose and we're just gonna show you everything and we're not gonna worry about it. And I think that
Right.
that's perfect right now,
It's
especially
been
and a
5
guy
minutes
like
movie.
James Gunn to deliver this is perfect. Going back to his trauma days, this guy has always been um on that cutting edge of that, kind of walking that fine line. You know what I mean? And it's like,
It's
oh yeah, this
about
is
dragons. This
yeah,
isn't about freaking some crazy Lord of the Rings kind of like no, I don't I'm not that kind of guy that likes that. That's okay if you do, but that's I want to see something that is about superheroes, real life, doing this, doing that, or something that just makes you say, man, is whoa, that's pretty cool. Do something that makes me say, man, that's cool. Make me do something that says, hey, you know what? I just watched that episode, rewind it, I want to watch it again. A rewind goes back to VHS days for those of you who don't know. I want to see it again. Let's see it again.
sure.
I feel like this show is going to be a really good opportunity, and I think it's a brilliant move by HBO to go all in. It's double down. It's double downing for you to say, man, let me go back and check out the Suicide Squad.
Let me
It's
ask you
great.
this: being that, and we had this discussion before, being that James Gunn, like I said, this show has already got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I can't see it going anywhere but up. And Suicide Squad also got a 90%, in its reviews. Most people, liked it. Should James Gunn have more of a say in the DC extended universe or making more DC projects, more DC films? Or should they say, hey, you know what, James? Here's the keys, man. Take care of this. Because right now, I'm going to tell you,
I think so.
everything
I agree
else,
with that.
I know everything else that they're doing right now is okay, but this is excitement. You know what I mean? Like you can have a legit filmmaker who has, made great films for Marvel. Now he's made great films for DC. I think DC needs this guy to they need to kind of get this guy away from Marvel a little bit. Say, hey man, James, come on over here, man. We'll let you do anything
Let me
you
tell you
want to
what
do.
DC should do. Let me tell you what DC should do. Just give me a few moments. I think DC should say, hey, you know what? We're gonna put $900 million into 8 movies. And these 8 movies are going to be a culmination to build up to the number 8 movie. And we're going to build a world because 3 of the movies will be good guy movies. 3 of them will be bad guy movies. And then one movie will be them working together. And then the last movie will be whatever happens after that. You need to do a build up to that. You need to invest the money and say, hey, I'm going to get these actors and I'm going to get these roles that are going to build up, that are going to branch out. And you need to go all in. You need to do a marketing campaign, blitz, but you need that kind of budget. And you need to go to a guy like James Gunn and say, hey,
Okay.
what can you do? What can you build me here? I'm going to I'm going to give you the seeds to build this tree. And off those branches, I'll do shows like Peacemaker. I'll do other shows like, hey, listen, like hey, before Krypton. Hey, Brainiac. You know what I mean? What have I always told you? Go in on the villains. Go in. The villains are interesting. I want to see what motivates them.
Yeah.
I want to see why they're doing what they're doing. They are the story. And anybody who knows that in filmmaking does well. I wanted to see Endgame. I wanted to see Infinity War because of what? It was about what? Thanos. Then they neutered him in Endgame because you didn't really get to. I want more about that guy because I don't know about him. Give me more. Give me more. I want to know what motivates him. That's why the Jokers tell so well. Because like, why is this crazy nut doing this?
Yeah.
You want to know. You want to
And
know.
I mean, what? It crossed $1 billion, right? It did $1 billion.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
This movie, right? This guy. I mean, they've got the perfect cast here with this guy. This guy was born to play. This is DC's damn near Deadpool.
Yeah.
This guy is great.
This is gonna
You
be
know, I
awesome.
want to see more. I mean,
Yep.
and DC's characters, because they have such a variety of characters, they're unapologetic. I love it.
Now,
I love it.
I'm
Go ahead.
let's move on to the next topic because this is one that I know um you wanted to discuss. So I'm gonna pop this up here real quick. 1 second.
Definitely.
Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Morbius.
Okay, I'm gonna get right to the point here. Hey, I'm not looking forward to this movie. I think this movie is trash. I think they're giving you the best scenes. It's clear to see they're giving you the best scenes they can right now because this movie is garbage.
All right,
This
so
has
let's talk
nothing to
about
do
what
with
we
Spider-Man.
wanted to talk about. Let me pull this up here. Is this thing not disappearing? Hold up. All right, well, we're gonna have to read around this dude with his whatever his issues are. Okay, so the problem: Jared Leto's Morbius bumped from January to April because of the Omicron surge. Now, I don't know if I believe it's necessarily because of the Omicron surge, but let's read what they say. So, Jared Leto's upcoming Morbius has been bumped from its release this month and will now be released in April amid the Omicron surge. Sony Pictures announced on Monday. Sony Films, based on the Marvel character, now set to open on April 1st. The film was initially set to open on January 28th, but has been pushed back as the record-breaking surge in COVID-19 cases fueled by the Omicron variant is suspected to decrease customer confidence and interest in the movie going in the coming weeks. Now, here's the thing, and this is where I think this is what it's all about. While Sony has provided a huge holiday boost for theaters with Spider-Man No Way Home, which has grossed over $600 million domestically and $1.3 billion worldwide, the next 2 months are shaping up to be very sluggish at the box office. What did I just say there, T? The next 2 months are shaping up to be very sluggish at the box office. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Spider-Man No Way Home drops, makes already over $1 billion. First $1 billion film, by the way, that we've had in the last 2 years. They had no $1 billion films in 2020, right? 2021 at the tail end. Here we go, $1 billion. And yet, a movie set in the same universe. Now I know it's Morbius and nobody knows who Morbius is and people don't care who Morbius is. But think about this for a minute. If you were Sony and you just put out 1.3 billion, it's like, hey man, why not strike while the iron's hot? Think about this. Why wouldn't we strike while the iron's hot? I'll tell you why. Because they need to add something to this film. Because there's something wrong with it. They have to add something to the film. You can tell me all the time, yeah, we're just bumping it back 2 months. You're doing more than that. Because you want to do something maybe to capture a little bit of that Spider-Man No Way Home swag. You want to get a little bit of that, and it's like, hey, what can we do? Maybe we could throw a post-credit scene together real quick. You know, something for people to talk about. Hey, let's give them a little something. Give them the pickle. This is what we always say. Hey, the fans are hype. They want Spider-Man. How much Spider-Man do we have in Morbius? And they probably talked to each other and they said, yeah, we don't really have a lot of Spider-Man in Morbius. So you know what?
Hey,
I want to throw together a quick scene.
When was this movie supposed to originally come out?
This movie was supposed to come out back in 2020, like in August.
So it's finished. This movie is trash. They're going to try to piecemeal it together, and you're going to watch this movie, you're going to be like, man, It just feels like some parts of this movie is missing. This movie, you've seen all the best parts of this movie. Why do you need to go see this movie? Why do I care about this movie? What does this movie mean to Spider-Man? It's nothing.
Point. But that's
and
my
this
point.
movie, you know what this doesn't have? You know what this doesn't have that nobody, this doesn't have Blade. This movie doesn't have Blade. This
Why
has a
Blade.
Why? Because they were together.
No. I understand that, but for the purposes of this movie, you don't need Blade. You need to introduce Morbius.
Why do you even need this movie? You don't need this movie. This is an unnecessary movie, just like that trash movie Venom. This is why.
You want to build a Spider-Man universe? Sony's got properties that they need to make money off of.
This is a money grab. This movie is purely for a money grab, and they moved it because of what? Yeah, they're gonna say because the big. They're gonna say that it's gone, but no. This movie should have been ready to bang. People were like, "Oh man, can I have some more, please?"
Well, the only reason Spider-Man made what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Spider-Man made $1 billion because they had no competition whatsoever in the theater.
But that's what they're just saying in the article, T. They're saying the next 2 months are shaping up to be very sluggish for the box office. So,
of course it is.
So why would you move? Look, you got a comic book movie.
Well, all right. Let
me hear me out. You got a comic book movie, right? Fans is hungry for comic book movies. They just shelled out a 1.3 billion and still going for Spider-Man. Morbius is in the Spider-Man universe. We know this. Okay, we've seen in the trailers. They're gonna have the Vulture in there. They got little shots of Spider-Man. We know that this character is built into this universe, and there's nothing else coming out. There's nothing coming out. Now, you can tell me Omnicron, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, maybe there's something to that. But what I'm saying is my, conspiracy theory at this point is they're doing this because they need to capitalize off Spider-Man, because I agree with you. I don't think this movie's going to be very good. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But trailers-wise, I've just been like, mildly interested. And usually when I'm mildly interested, and I'm going to see it because I see everything that comes out in theaters, but mild interest, it usually turns out to be a bad movie for me. Super hype, trailers are popping, people are talking, everything looks amazing. Oh, okay. It usually turns out to be exactly what it is.
I don't think this movie is going to be anything. I think it'll be a mediocre movie for a mediocre character. I think that it'll be interesting. It'll make over $500 million, and that'll be cool because people are like, okay.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to add something to this movie to try to get people to go see it. Because there's nothing. If you add a post-credit scene, you throw, let's say, Tom Holland in that post-credit scene. Are you telling me that people aren't going to want to go and check that movie out just to see how does Tom Holland relate?
But they cannot look.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
This is their property. They can do whatever they want.
They're not going to strike while the iron's hot, dude. They're not. Sony's not ready for that. Sony is not going to strike while the iron's hot. That's not the kind of company they are. They're not run that way, and you know it. You know they're not going to strike like that. You know that they're not going to say, you know what? Here's this opportunity, man. We're going to bust them over the head. No, this is the only thing they got. This is the same company that had Rhino in a machine. Who thought that was a good idea? To put Rhino in a machine? Come on.
Yeah, they did make Amazing Spider-Man 2, didn't they?
This is the same company that had the lizard become some big giant lizard crawling up buildings like King Kong. What?
But you got to think that they've learned their lesson from dealing with Marvel.
No, they have not.
T, you got to think, after dealing with Marvel for as long as they've dealt with Marvel, okay? They've been dealing with Marvel since, they brought Spider-Man into the MCU. What was that, 2017, 2018?
2016.
Was it 16? Okay. So they brought Spider-Man, with Civil War. So they bring him in Civil War. So for the last 5 years, they've got to sit side by side with Kevin Feige and the guys down at Marvel and learning how to do business the correct way. Hey, how do you build a cinematic universe? What?
Civil War didn't make $1 billion?
Civil War made $1 billion.
I mean, that was that trailer when he drops in and he says under rules. That is man.
Yeah.
That's up there with Black Panther when Black Panther
We're
trailer
gonna get
dropped.
to that in a minute. All right, let me get to the next topic real quick. All right, so uh, we just got through talking about billion-dollar movies, um, and I want your take because so far this year, or I'm sorry, since 2019. I don't know if you remember 2019. I'm gonna pull something up real quick. Uh, Give me a second here. I'm gonna pull something up for us to look at real quick. Because here's the thing. We got to a point in get this in here. Uh, all right. So look at this, man. We got kind of greedy and kind of spoiled with movies hitting $1 billion. I don't know if you follow the box office as closely as I do, but I love box office talk. I'm always looking at how other movies are doing in comparison to other films in history. 2019, right? 9 films, 9 hit the $1 billion mark. It was like the biggest year in films that anybody's seen, of course, led by Endgame. All right. And if you go back throughout the years, I think if you check on box office, I'm just going to pull this up real quick. I think it was in 2011. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? It was 2012. Uh, or maybe it was 2011, 2010, maybe. It's been a minute since we haven't had a $1 billion movie. In other words, you can go back several years. 2009. Oh yeah, that was Avatar. So I know that yeah. 2008 was Dark Knight. Let me see. 2007. Okay, so look, in 2007 was the last year, but non-pandemic year that we did not have a $1 billion movie. That was the last year, 2007. That's what, 15 years ago. All right.
That we didn't have $1 billion
That
movie.
we did not have a $1 billion movie. So we've been on a streak, but non-pandemic 2020 don't count. You got to throw it out. But outside of 2020, all right, like I said, you go all the way to 2019. We started to hit a stride where every year it was just more and more movies making $1 billion.
Who's got all that money?
It's international. It's an international game now. Movies are
13
being made
years
for foreign
wait a minute,
countries. They're really not
14,
made for us.
13 years of $1 billion movie. Who's making that money? Man, I need to be a filmmaker. Jeez.
But here's the question I have for you. What movie out there is set to make $1 billion this year? All right, let's hear some predictions because I feel like there's a couple of movies. It's gonna be tough. All right, it's gonna be
You ready?
tough.
We'll just bounce them off. I'll say one, you say one, all right?
All right,
Avatar 2.
I think that's tough, man. I think that's gonna be tough. I think that's gonna be it's definitely got possibilities, but I think that's gonna be extremely tough.
Worldwide box office, buddy. Avatar 2.
But okay, but think about it, man. When's the last time we just saw it? Right, this was when Avatar came out, 2009. How many people still care about this thing? How many people still remember this movie or care about
Billion
this?
dollar, it's a $1 billion
It did. It did 2 billion. It did 2.7.
It's a $1 billion movie, buddy. Move on to the next one. Give me yours.
All right. Well, I'm already going to go with the Batman. I think that's a solid. I think that's a solid entry. Okay.
That's only 900 million. Go ahead. I'll go with mine.
Next.
I'll go with mine.
Who?
Next one. Next one. I tend to think. I think the Rock's movie is going. I think Aquaman. Aquaman is definitely going to make $1 billion.
Really, Aquaman?
Aquaman's
It's a
gonna make
Christmas release, so that's going to definitely help it out.
Oh, definitely $1 billion.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a Christmas release, but you know what else? It's releasing with another movie. Another movie and another huge IP. You know what I'm talking about?
Who?
It's releasing the same week as Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no! It's gonna definitely blow that out the water. There's
Super
no way.
Mario is okay.
No way.
I'm not
Super
saying
Mario
that it
Bros.
won't. I'm not saying that it won't. But
Go! And I got you. Made me think of one. Another one. Next one I got.
okay,
is
well the
IP.
next one is Doctor Strange. I mean, that's an obvious no-brainer.
Okay, Doctor Strange. I'm
No-brainer,
good
right?
with that. I definitely agree with that. You ready for mine?
Wait. Do you think Doctor Strange? Obviously, you think Doctor Strange is going to do more money than Batman.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
see that happening.
Yeah.
How do you? I can understand that you don't think that this is going to be a good iteration of
He's tied
Batman,
into things,
but
B.
you gotta
Tied
look at
in.
this thing in a wider view, bro.
Oh man, he's tied. He's tied into it, dude. Everybody who wasn't familiar with Doctor Strange knows that crazy wig and that dye job, dude. It's on.
You're talking about the biggest superhero in the world, Batman. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Everybody wants to see every version of him
You
come
watch
out.
your
Every
mouth.
time they drop, how many Batman
You watch
cartoons?
your mouth, dude. You can hear you. It's,
I understand where you're coming from with that because you know
Get a
Soups
man
is
some
my guy.
respect.
No. Soups is my guy, okay? And it's criminal that they haven't given Henry Cavill a second film. I'm just talking for the rest of the world, okay? I'm objective. You know, I look at everything as black and white.
Come on, man. I don't really count Batman, dude, because it's just a reboot, dude. I mean, we get a new Batman every what 6 to 8 years. I don't really count. It's not.
It's going to be
Come
9
on,
in this
dude.
case. Oh,
Come
no,
on,
10.
dude.
10. This is a decade since The Dark Knight Rises came out.
No, but we had Batman.
Oh, he had
versus Superman.
Affleck. Yeah, okay, yeah. But he never got his own movie. He kind of had Batman versus Superman. That's not his
You know,
movie.
like I don't really. D, come on, man. Come on, dude. The next movie for me, I would say Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's definitely gonna be a $1 billion movie.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, I could pull it off, but it's gonna do well. Not a billion, maybe a good 500 million. But that's a definitely anticipated movie. But I would say it wouldn't surprise me if Thor loving what's the name?
Yeah.
Was called.
I think if we were to say like any movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe outside, because I don't think Black Panther's gonna. Me personally, I can't wait for Black Panther. I think it's gonna be a interesting movie. I can't wait to see it because I'm wondering what the heck they gonna do with it.
That's coming
But
out at the wrong time.
it's
That's
coming out
it.
at the wrong time as well. I think it's more of a early year movie rather than late in the year movie. But I think we're gonna see something very interesting with Thor: Love and Thunder, because there's a lot of like talk
Why
about
did
Lady Thor or Lady what did it call Jane Foster's Thor? I don't know what they call her, but there's a lot of talk about her. People are like, why are they doing this? Is it a love story? Like, but people trust Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is like a guy everybody swears by. So it's like, okay. So you gave me Thor: Love and Thunder. What do you think about Jurassic World Dominion? Non-comic book movie. People love Jurassic World. I know the last one was a little disappointing, but they're bringing back. I think they're bringing back Sam Neill from the original, and Jeff Goldblum is supposed to be in this, I believe, as well. Am I right?
No.
No. So you're not buying it.
I'm not going to get on a tirade about Jurassic Park, which every last movie is trash.
I think
Especially number 3.
I think the first one was good, and I think the Jurassic World reboot that was all right. You know, I don't hate that movie. I'm not a fan of the Jurassic World franchise. I like the books. I'm a Michael Crichton reader. I love Michael Crichton, but in terms of the actual movies, I've never been a fan of those. But I do think that this movie is slotted to make $1 billion because of who's coming back. If they're bringing everybody back, and this is going to be their launch pad, I think this is going to make the money that they're looking to make.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, your turn.
No. Who? I really don't have Black Adam. I would say yeah, maybe. But I think there are going to be some sneaky surprises and other things. I really don't have the list up in front of me, but I think that I think that Black Adam might get close. I think there are going to be a lot of movies that are awful close to what we're anticipating. I'd like to see some surprises to be honest with you though, because I'm more into story. A lot of movies don't live up to the spectacle. Obviously, we saw that in Matrix, the next one they released. You've got to have something. You've got to have story to back up your vision.
Oh,
You don't
I got
have
a surprise.
huh?
I got one that might be a surprise.
Go ahead.
Lightyear.
Ah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. That might be that's the sneaky one that nobody's really thinking about.
I don't think that's going to make a Billy. It would be hard pressed for that to make a bill. For that to make a bill, ooh, because I saw Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 was not good at all.
What?
Not good. Toy Story 4 was not good. It wasn't good. It was great.
Okay.
It was great.
All right, we got one more topic here, T. This one's yours, and I'm gonna let you take the lead. Best superhero movie scene. We were talking about this earlier today.
Man.
What is the best scene?
Best superhero scene of all time is freaking Captain America, where he picks up that damn hammer and fucking wails on. That was the best because that was so unexpected. That was holy crap. I was on the edge of my seat thinking, oh my goodness, how are they going to get out of that? And boom, out of nowhere, Captain America saves the day. That was such an awesome moment, man.
He didn't really save the day. He kind of got his ass kicked after that.
He did. But, hey, he came back with another scene and said, what? Avengers Assemble.
Right.
It was just unexpected, dude. Now, that should have been Superman and Batman's fucking scene, but they didn't do it. Yeah. Pardon my French. But that should have been a Superman and Batman scene. What is going on? What is going on where a B team is beating the A team? It pissed me off, man. The best scene of all time. That didn't even go to Spider-Man.
Okay, let's talk about Spider-Man, because in my opinion, you want to talk about some scenes that really get you goosebumps. Spider-Man 2, the train scene saves the. That was the fight, the whole Doc Ock fight all the way to him stretching those webs across all of those buildings, and then he saves them. The people pull him back into the thing. He's unmasked, and everybody's like, "Yeah, don't worry, man. Your secret's safe with us."
He's just a kid.
He's just a kid. Oh man, that was such a great moment, man. That scene, that's like the goosebump scene of all goosebump scenes for me, man. That's one of the things that makes Spider-Man 2 one of the greatest movies of all time. You know, there's a favorite guy you got right behind you that we always talk about. Probably awesome. One of my best Superman moments is Superman Returns and the airplane catch. And when he catches the airplane rescue.
No argument here, dude. He's the man, dude. He's the man. He just, God, man, he's the dude. How could you not? Just saying soups, man. It's just like, dude, he is the epitome.
What was your opinion when you saw that scene? What was you feeling? Like the first time you saw that?
Dude, that's a hero. That's a freaking superhero, dude.
Yeah.
That's a superhero moment, dude. He's awesome, dude. Because you know what? He expands. He is not a color, dude. He's an icon. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He's not a color. And even though he wears red, white, blue, red, blue, and yellow, he's just timeless, dude. He's just timeless, dude. He's the standard. He is the standard.
I mean, he's an American icon for a reason, right?
He's just, come on, man. Who doesn't want to, come on, man. Soups, man. I want to be Soups, man. Strong, dude. I can think. Like, he's just the American, just a brute, man. Just, hey, listen, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Like, how do I back? Here's a person that's not from this planet that has to juggle integrity, dude. He has to juggle integrity all while being himself, while having a job.
Yeah. This
man pays taxes. Come on. You think about that.
What's your next
This man
superhero? What's your next superhero
cried.
scene? What's your next superhero scene?
Oh man, my next superhero scene. God, man, that's kind of a hard one. I really liked Iron Man 1 where he came out of nowhere. Boom, he stops and you hear that, which they don't play anymore with his
Mm-hmm.
thing. When they make that iron sound and then it would go, and then he blasts with his hands and like, oh man, that's just awesome,
Which
man. You know what I mean?
which one? When he the first movie when you took out the little terrorists in that
Yeah.
village and
When he came down and you heard that cling. You notice that they didn't make that noise anymore,
I haven't
really,
noticed
in the
that.
movie. You didn't notice that?
I haven't noticed that.
They really didn't make that dong, like he just was just, ah man. It was just great to see Iron Man on film and they made it believable. Like, golly, dude, that's awesome. Look at me, man. I got goosebumps, man, thinking about those scenes, man.
The
I
one
think Iron
scene
Man,
I
huh?
was gonna say the one scene that I think people kind of overlook, and if you haven't seen it, then you probably haven't paid attention to it, but you should, because these characters are starting to make their way back into the universe. It's the very first hallway fight in Daredevil season one, and I think it was episode two. That hallway fight was holy shit. This is oh okay. I'm watching the rest of these right now. They gave them all to us. I'm about to watch. Sit down here, watch all 13
Punisher was
episodes
pretty badass
right
too.
now.
Punisher scenes were pretty badass too.
Oh
But
man,
you know what? I gotta say for me, I really enjoyed the Avengers movies. The first Avengers, when they're in that scene, they pan around.
yeah,
That's that's an all-time classic,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
If you could skip Age of Ultron and go straight to Civil War, when they're running to each other and they're like,
Yeah,
"We really doing this?" Yeah. I mean, that was phenomenal too,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like those are iconic. I love how Marvel says, we're gonna surprise you, man. We're gonna surprise you. Now they haven't really done that lately. You know what I mean? They just kind of like they're trying to build up their wall so they can have momentum again. But they already had momentum going when you ended that saga with that. I think they've got a really good opportunity to bring in some new characters. Obviously, to
Yeah.
come in, some other ones too, and to come
Well,
in.
they got to go. In my opinion, this is just me. They got to go fast. I think
They can't wait. You,
yeah,
you
the
got to go
MCU's
right
losing a little bit of its momentum right now. Hawkeye is.
because of the year. That's just because of the year, D. That's
Hey,
just
hey,
because
hey,
of the
hey,
year.
hey! I'm fine with that. Hawkeye is like the last thing that came out. I know that Spider-Man is still on everybody's mind, but that seems like that's kind of a Sony Marvel thing. MCU proper, you're talking about okay, what's coming up next for them? Well, that's going to be Doctor Strange. They need Doctor Strange to be a hit. They need that thing to be great, okay? And then after that, then you're going into Thor and Love and Thunder. They need some hits, okay? They need some hits, and they need them now because, in my opinion, I think the MCU, they need a lot of these special superhero scenes. They need to kind of
Let
build
me,
on that.
let me ask you something, no, D. As much as you talk about the most famous superhero in the world,
Hmm.
what's an iconic superhero moment for that guy?
Um,
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock,
well,
tick tock.
I don't know. I think the scenes that you're thinking of in terms of iconic, like in The Dark Knight, you're talking about the scene where he interviews the Joker. I thought that was great. But it's two great
No,
actors
I'm
playing off each
talking
other.
about superhero.
I
Boom.
understand that, but that's not Batman is he's a detective. He's a different type of superhero. He's not going to catch a plane falling out of the sky. That's not who Batman is. Batman is inside your mind. He's interpersonal. He's dealing with crooks and criminals that are depraved and sinister and vile. He's not dealing with guys that can blow up planets. So he's a different kind of superhero. So when you're talking about great Batman moments, you're talking about okay, him getting personal with the Joker, him and the Joker having a conversation in that interview room, and all of a sudden the Joker flips the script on him and be like, "Oh well, I got Rachel locked up somewhere, and Harvey Dent too. What you gonna do?" And that's the moments that I remember when it comes to Batman. Now that might be a better Joker scene than a Batman scene, but I think you get what I'm saying. It's not that. It's not that bad.
So he doesn't. So he doesn't have one.
Yeah, he don't have those type of scenes, but at the
Exactly,
same time,
exactly,
he's not that kind of
exactly.
hero.
Exactly. Because the Batman movies are all story.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be about action.
No.
Action is second fiddle. But what I'm telling you, like what a point I made earlier about this new Batman movie, the roles are going to reverse. It's all what I've noticed in the trailers. It's all action, some story. It's all action.
Okay.
I think that Batman movie coming out is a Trojan horse. I really think it's a Trojan horse. I think they showed you pretty much the entire movie already, and it's gonna be a love story between him and Cap.
All right. Well, we'll find out. It comes out in March, man. All right. Well, that was the last topic, bro. I'm gonna. What's up?
Again, like I said, best superhero moment, man. It belongs. Whatever it is, Captain America's in it, man. They put respect on Captain America's name, man. That's all I wanted, man. That's all I wanted. Put a respect on Cap's name, man.
All right, bro.
Cap is that dude, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go, bro. Let's talk to you on. I'll talk. Hey, we'll do this again probably next week. Set it up. Talk about some more topics, and come with 3 good ones, man. Because we wanna keep this thing cracking.
We want y'all to tune in, man, and get used to this, man, because we're here to stay.
All right, T.
All right.